In this session, we will do some practical stuff to understand Maven functionality. We will create our first Maven project using command line as well as from Eclipse. The motive behind creation of simple project is to understand the default configuration of Maven. We will not provide any custom configuration and will check how Maven behaves on default settings. For simple Maven project, run this command. For group ID, provide your company name along with its domain. For artifact ID, provide the project name which you want to create. So in order to check the behavior, let's execute this command on our terminal. Open terminal and run this command. As you can see, Maven started downloading all the plugins and dependencies and started generating the project in batch mode. In few seconds, it have completed the project structure generation, and if we see what is actually been generated, it have generated the project Maven demo, which is nothing but the artifact ID we provided in the command itself. During this process, Maven started downloading required dependencies and plugins automatically from the central repository. We don't have to mention the central repo URL or any other plugin. By default, it takes care of all of the required parameters and generates project structure almost immediately. At this time, don't worry about the command that we have just used. We will cover its meaning and explanation in upcoming sessions. So if we want to see the structure that Maven created, just go to the Maven demo. And we can see from the root of the project, we have pom.xml and an src folder. Let's go inside src. And inside src, we have main and text folder. This is the default structure of a standard Maven project. But it would be easier to understand the structure from the IDE because we can visualize the structure. So, similar to the command line, we can also create a Maven project via IDE like Eclipse. In this course, we will use Eclipse for our explanation. Eclipse supports Maven out of the box, and we don't have to install Maven plugin explicitly. In order to create a Maven project from Eclipse, just open Eclipse, go to File, New, and click on Maven project. Since we want to create a very simple Maven project, check on Create a Simple Project and click on Next. Now here we have to provide the mandatory parameters which we had just provided in command line as well. So group ID is your company name along with its domain, which is com.quatso in our case. And artifact ID is the project name which you want to create. Here we want to create Maven demo. Click on Finish. And just like command line, Maven have created the entire project structure on IDE as well. So here again we have src main and src test. And similar to the command line, we have pom.xml file. So let's understand the default behavior of Maven when we don't provide any custom configuration. First, it assumes the default source code directory is src main java. Second, it assumes the default resource directory is src main resources. Third, the default test source code directory is src test java. Fourth, the default test resource directory is src test resources. Fifth, the default packaging type will be of jar. Sixth, the default location of compiled classes will be inside target folder. Similarly, the default location of jar file will be also inside target folder. Although we have options to override all these default configurations, but in most of the cases, programmers stick to the default configurations. Maven processes all of its functionalities via pom.xml file. So let's see what it includes inside default pom.xml. So when we open the pom.xml, we can see the root tag of this XML is project, which requires only Maven coordinates as a mandatory requirement. And the Maven coordinates includes your group ID and artifact ID. So we have seen the default requirement of project creation using Maven is almost nil. In upcoming sessions, we will see what are the different configurations by which we can customize our project. So we'll learn how to create a Maven project via command line and via Eclipse. We will go deeper in upcoming sessions.